Hey guys, it's Danny here. I'm going to show you real quick how to navigate through MyFitnessPal, and hopefully this helps you understand with logging your food. So, after you download your app, it should run through your settings and it will ask you some personal questions, and that should give you your calories for the day. I've already obviously done that. Now, I have a lot of food already logged in here and saved because I log my food so often. So that's what's really nice about this is like once you start logging after about a week, it starts saving your foods that you use regularly. So it's really easy to add your food in. So I'm just gonna go meal one. Let's do 2 slices of toast. Let's do 8 ounces of egg whites. Let's do a little bit of peanut butter. Now I'm going to change the portions on this. Let's do just 6 ounces of egg whites. And not, yeah, that's good. Okay, my first snack of the day. I typically like to eat Greek yogurt. So I usually do a cup for a serving. Change that serving right there. 1 cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I don't usually add fruit to mine. I just eat it plain. But I know that most people won't do that. So see, it says 1 cup, so we're just gonna change the portion. I like your serving size of fruit to be around a 1/4 cup, just because it keeps your sugars down, and you can eat 2 servings that way, so you're only eating about a 1/2 cup a day. If you're a fruit lover, you can do a 1/2 cup twice a day, but it is gonna boost up your sugar a little bit. So if you're really trying to lose weight, really watch that. Even though it's natural fruit and stuff, it's something that short term you can cut back on and really lower your fruit and lower that sugar will really help with weight loss. Okay, so let's say you have a cup of Greek yogurt, 1/4 cup of strawberries, and then you have your lunch. So let's do sweet potatoes. We will do 1 cup because that's like a typical serving. I know it may seem like a lot to some of you, but it's really not. Carbs are not bad for you, as long as they're the good carbs. And let's do 5 ounces of chicken. And then, let's see. I don't have very many vegetables logged in, so let's say, because I don't really eat vegetables. Let's look for some broccoli. See this little green check mark? That means it's been approved by MyFitnessPal. So they have validated the serving size and the calories. If it doesn't have that little green check mark, you might want to check it out because sometimes they'll have really off calories or really off things, and that means just someone else has logged that into their database. So I would always try to pick the ones that have the green check mark. Snack number 2, let's find a protein shake. Where are my protein shakes at? I've been doing the muscle milk from Costco. I don't have it in here for some reason. We'll just go with the Advocare one since it's already logged in there. Add that. And then maybe let's add well, let's just see where we're at on that. Dinner. Let's do some lean ground beef. Let's say you're having a protein burger. Now, you don't have to log, if you have 1 piece of lettuce and 1 piece of tomato. I wouldn't really worry about logging that so much. It's really not that big of a deal. Let's say you make some zucchini fries, some diced up zucchini. Let's do a cup of that. Mustard, you don't need to log, but like mayonnaise, ketchup, all of that stuff you do because ketchup does have carbohydrates in it. And let's see where we're at. So now how you check out where you're at for the day, you can see I only have eaten 1,150 calories. That is not enough. I typically eat about 1,700 calories a day. Most of the women will probably be around 1,500, maybe 1,600 a day. Most of the men might be close to 2,000 a day. Okay, so on the very bottom of your day, you'll see it says nutrition. Click on nutrition. You'll say calories, nutrients, or macros. Calories shows you where your calories are eaten throughout the day. Your first meal was 425 calories, second meal 280, where your snacks are. So you can see my first meal is my biggest. That's always a good thing. You always want to eat a lot in the mornings and at lunch. Nutrients. This is where you're going to see if you're really into, eating for your macros. A lot of people have been doing my custom nutrition programs and have been learning about that. Maybe you already know about it. This is where you'll actually look at your grams of what you're eating. So today I've had 142 grams of protein, 96 grams of carbs, only 16 grams of fiber. That's not really enough. But 32 grams of sugar is great. Anything under about 40, 50 is great. For the men that are eating a little bit more calories, shooting for like under 70 is good. See, I'm only at 22 grams of fat, which is good because that means that I can add in some nuts for my day or some kind of snack that might have a little bit more fat in it because I've kept my meats at very low fat meats, a very low fat lean ground beef, and chicken and egg whites at breakfast is keeping my fat really low. My sodium's only at 1,300 milligrams. That's perfect. You'd like to keep it under 2,000. And then you can go to macros right here, and this is going to give you a little pie graph. Now, this is a little bit easier for everyone else to follow if you're not really so focused on the grams, because it does get a little sciencey. So if you want to hit macros, what I like to see is this protein, this green, needs to be about 40%. So I know that we need to eat a little bit more carbohydrates and a little bit more fat because I'd like to see the fat around 25%, the carbohydrates around 35%, and the protein ideally around 40%. So let's go back in, and this is why it's so helpful logging your food in the morning, because then you can adjust what you're eating throughout the day, add, take away. If you realize, whoa, I've got a lot of fat in my day, you can adjust that before you actually eat the food. So that's really great. So let's go ahead and let's add some hard-boiled eggs. I like the Costco ones because they're already pre-done. Let's do 2 of those, 2 hard-boiled eggs. So that's going to add a lot of our fat. It's going to add about 10 grams of fat, I believe. And then before bed, let's see. I typically just eat egg whites before bed, so let's just do 3 hard-boiled egg whites. And then if you guys like coffee, I suggest you cut out creamer out of your life. It is not good for you. There's a lot of hidden sugars in it. Replace it with an almond milk. Add a little stevia. Stevia is great for you. The almond milk gets you good calories. And then with our protein shake, we're going to add the almond milk too. And that's going to help add our carbs too. Okay, so now you can see we're about 1,400 calories now. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we're still at about 46% protein, so we can add a little bit more carbohydrates into our day. So let's add some blueberries. It's going to add us about 5 carbs. Or let's do a half a cup. Berries are probably the best fruit that you can pick from. They're the lowest in sugar. They strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Those are all really low in sugar and not too many carbohydrates if you're kind of watching your carbs. Things like apples and bananas are really high in carbohydrates, but apples are good because they're not too high in sugar. So you can always remember that. Okay, so I think we're about good. We're about 1,460 calories. We're at about 118 grams of carbs, which is great. Under 40 grams of fat, which is great. We could probably still add just a little bit more. Let's add some raw almonds. Search. See? Little check mark. Now, in 1 ounce of almonds, there's 14 grams of fat. So we don't have enough for 14 grams of fat. So let's just do half. You can see how this feels like a science sometimes. But you'll get really fast at it, and you'll have your meals that are saved in here. That makes it a lot easier. There we go. That's a little better. 45 grams of fat. Your body does need fat, and your body does need carbs for fuel. So don't be afraid to eat them. We just need to, I see a lot of people, they log their food and it's all chicken and all egg whites and their protein is like 60% and they're so afraid to add any fat in or any carbohydrates and they think they're not going to lose weight, but it's really just not the case. I mean, you can only eat that kind of food for so long. I mean, you can see as I was logging in here, I mean, this is my life. I mean, there are some times where I have a Charburger from The Habit. That was a weekend splurge, but I still logged it. I still wanted to see where I was at. Turkey sausage, that's a processed meat. It's not something that I eat all the time, but every once in a while, you got to switch it up a little bit. So I bought a package and I had it for 2 days that week. So, you've got to let yourself live. You've got to let yourself breathe and give yourself variety. You can see in here, we've got bread, we have peanut butter, we have almond milk for coffee, there's fruit in here, there's nuts in here, chicken, beef, veggies. I mean, you're eating all your food groups and you're still staying at 1,550 calories and eating a lot of protein, very high protein, very low fat, but you're still giving your body enough carbohydrates to fuel yourself for the day. So I hope this helps you understand where to find things, how to navigate through it. If you have any questions, shoot it over on that, original email that you send in with your first weigh-in. And hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a good day.